With the rut's lull now finally behind us, expectation is high that mature bucks will once again be on their feet, looking hard for that last remaining estrus doe. It is this behavior that Jared Mills anticipates as he heads back to his new farm and climbs into a stand in the same area where Mike Reed killed the old buck named Gronk 10 days earlier.
Well, it's just about sunrise here the morning of November 20th, and I'm settled into a really cool spot. I decided to get ambitious this morning and do a self-film hanging hunt and hike way back in here with stand and sticks and all that. It's a spot I've been wanting to see and look at here on the new farm. It's probably only 150 yards from where we killed Gronk. I can almost see the tree that we shot him out of. It's just further down the river. You can see a little bit more into this bedding area. We're at the tail end of the rut here, so I'm hoping to catch one of these big mature bucks we have on this farm alone this morning. It should be a good morning, and I'm excited to see what happens. Well, it's about 10 o'clock here, and the wind's starting to pick up. That strong southwest wind's really warming things up quick, too. There's a pretty big lull kind of between probably 7:45 and 9:15, where I didn't see any activity, and around 9:30 I decided to rattle just to see if I could get something to respond. And I rattled for about 5 seconds and looked up, and there were 3 bucks running single file right to the base of the tree almost. So it got kind of exciting fast. The oldest deer, it looked like a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and then the oldest deer, mature deer, is a deer we call Rex. We've encountered him a couple times already. Just not a deer that I want to shoot at this point. But it's pretty cool, have them all come in like that. And then there's a 1.5-year-old that came in after them. So 4 bucks came to that rattling sequence. Just unfortunately not a shooter. But even though it's warming up, I'm going to hang in here for quite a while. And at least another hour and a half. Just kind of see what happens. Hopefully we get the right cruising buck to come by sometime.
Jared's morning ended without any other mature buck encounters, but the explosive response he got to his rattling sequence showed him that things have changed in the November woods. Bucks are once again vulnerable. Not able to hunt that afternoon, Jared heads back to the farm the next morning.
about 7:30 here, and the wind has picked up significantly since we first got in the tree. Josh and I got here extra early this morning and came and hung 2 stands, and there's basically no wind, but it just slowly started picking up, and it's pushing 20 miles an hour now. Had a doe and 2 fawns and a year and a half old buck come in, and I think the wind is swirling. The wind is switching from kind of west southwest to northwest today. I think it's swirling a little bit, but they got nervous kind of down below us downwind, and she offered me a chip shot, so I decided to go ahead and shoot her. It'd be nice to have some fresh meat for family Thanksgiving this week, but I don't think she'll hurt anything. She just ran 50 yards or so, and she's laying right over there, but hoping for some good movement. This is the stand that Mike and I hunted 2 mornings ago, and it's in a good spot. It's a little pinch of timber in between the river and big bottomland area, so it's just kind of a travel corridor as these deer cruise along the river. So hopefully they keep moving, and hopefully one of our shooters come by.
With bucks cruising and one last sweep to find any remaining estrus does, funnels or pinch points, as Jared calls them, are the perfect stand locations. Anything that concentrates general movement into a narrow band will improve your odds of having a cruising buck within bow range. Justin Lindemann's 2014 hunt is a classic example of how this strategy can pay off when the bucks are traveling.
The setup we're going to be on is one of our food plots that we usually pretty much only hunt during late season, and with a northwest wind it actually blows it right over the food plot. The woods we're going to be in is basically on 2 inside corners, which is it's basically pinched down between about 100 yards. The bucks like to cruise in between this 2 patches of timber where the does like to bed.
That's Gimp. 3 years. Oh my gosh. Oh, that happened so fast.
There he is, Mark. That's definitely Gimp. This all happened so fast this morning, and I looked right away. I saw this slanted back G2, and I said right away that was Gimp. I said, Mark, there's Gimp. We've had trail camera pictures of this deer for 3 years now. We've never seen him on the hoof, and this is our first time in this farm. We haven't been in here checking trail cam or anything in over a month, and boy did it work out. I'm so excited. What a deer.
I've been shooting Hoyt bows almost exclusively since 1997. That is way before I started Midwest Whitetail. The people at Hoyt drew me to the company initially, but their commitment to producing the best, most accurate bows on the market is what kept me there. Many of the employees at Hoyt are bow hunters, so they take the quality of the bows they produce very personally. Hunting length stabilizers like the Fuse Carbon Torch FX help us to balance our bows so they jump straight forward at the shot, and the new custom front dampener reduces vibration and shot noise. Plus, they just look cool with their custom color options. Small diameter arrows like Easton's FMJ series make sense for many reasons. They penetrate very well and drift less in a crosswind. The FMJ is also the perfect weight for whitetail hunting. Realtree makes 12 different styles of their famous and highly functional easy hanger. You can find one that is perfect for holding your bow close at hand, stowing your gear, or positioning a video camera where you can easily capture your hunt. There's even a model that allows you to quickly attach a trail camera to a tree. After taking 3 days off, I'm fired up to get back in the stand, and where better than another of my favorites, a stand I call Death Ridge. Though the morning was uneventful, the cold wind blowing in my face has me thinking back to a similar day in 2008. On that day, I filmed my friend Mike Sawyer shoot an absolute slob of a buck that was out early, cruising in search of does.
How far is it? 50 right now. Bep. Didn't get that shoulder.
You didn't get his shoulder, Mike. He smoked.
I can't believe that just happened. I've been pouting around all afternoon because I missed a nice buck this morning. We got back up in here and that buck worked all the way through the bottom. Came up on the top, we grunted at him 3 or 4 times. Couldn't get him stopped. Bill Snort wheezed him at the top and he stopped, came right down the ridge. Gave me a perfect shot right here. I can't wait to get my hands on that big fella, and I love it when they fall within sight, so sure makes that recovery easy. Let's go take a look at him. Yes! Oh man! You're not kidding, these stickers. I'll tell you what. I never saw any of that, and I saw obviously on the footage from the summer and everything, but that, look at the size of that body. Stickers, unbelievable. Look at that. And he is just a stud of a deer. Look at that body, Bill. I didn't have an appreciation for what stickers meant. I saw the footage, but you don't see it up and close and personal like that. But then this little hook, I mean, that is just, he'd be a bruiser to get into a brawl with, wouldn't he? Look at that thing. He could do some damage. That's what it's all about right there. Wow.
Ozonics makes 2 models, the HR200 and the HR300. The 200 is more affordable but lacks some of the features and produces less ozone than the 300. But even with these limitations, we have had good success fooling most of the deer most of the time using this more affordable option. Nikon offers a wide range of optics for the hunting community. From laser rangefinders to scopes and binoculars, the technology they put into their products has always been cutting edge. We depend on Nikon for non-stop performance regardless of weather or light conditions. Cabela's offers a wide range of footwear that accommodate all types of hunting, from early season spot and stalk to late season stand hunting. What you wear on your feet has almost as much to do with your success as what you carry in your hands. With an industry-leading lifetime warranty, our choice in footwear is simple: Cabela's. Sleepless nights spent waiting for daylight only to follow a weak blood trail are a thing of the past with the devastating performance of the new Wasp Jackhammer Broadhead. With its 1 3/4 inch cutting diameter, this head is the perfect combination of destruction and penetration. Back to the 2017 season, Seth Sheldon, hunting in northern Missouri, has been playing cat and mouse with a giant 10-pointer for the past 2 days. On the afternoon of the 21st, the buck once again makes an appearance.
Well, it's Tuesday, November 21st. I set up across the bedding area, across the cornfield, just south of where I was last night. And that buck that I had an encounter with a couple of times now, can't seem to put an arrow in him, but he came out in this field and started feeding about a half hour ago. Started making his way towards me, but he must be on a doe still, because he pushed her into the timber. One of these times I'm going to get lucky and he's going to walk by me. Just got to stay persistent.
Not only did Seth see the buck he was after, but an equally impressive 9-pointer also showed up, unattached and looking for a female companion. Despite his best efforts, Seth is not able to pull him across the field. The evening ends with the buck still on the field, but now also haunting Seth's dreams. After seeing 2 great shooters on the small cornfield, Seth heads back to the same stand the next morning.
It's Wednesday, November 22nd. I came so close to shooting a buck this morning. I had about 8 does feeding out about 50 yards in the corner of this cornfield here, and they kept looking back, and I was like, oh yeah, a buck's gonna step out, and sure enough, this 8-point that's got some character to him. He came out, and I got excited. It definitely was gonna put an arrow on him if he came by. And he just fed with the does, and I threw a couple snort wheezes at him, and he started working my way, but he could tell something just quite wasn't right. And just about the time I started to draw back, he started to turn and run. So I kind of spooked him a little bit. I know he didn't smell me, but he just didn't see anything, and that's burned me twice now.
Frigid Forage Plowdown Clover is one of the most revolutionary products they sell. You ideally frost seed this blend of fast-growing clovers during the winter and then mow it down and till it under when preparing to plant Big and Beastie the next summer. The clover provides much-needed forage for the deer during the summer and much-needed nitrogen for the Big and Beastie once you plow it down. Controlling the depth of your seeds is important to ensuring good germination and a solid stand of plants. The RTP Genesis has adjustable packing wheels that regulate the depth at which the seeds are placed in the ground. Staying comfortable and hydrated through long, sweaty days requires a class-leading cooler, one that can take the abuse of life in a pickup bed and still hold ice for days. That is why American-made Grizzly coolers go with us on every scouting trip. Redneck's fiberglass blinds are their best-known models, but the company also makes a soft-sided blind. This model looks similar but is made from camouflage fabric or ghillie material. Soft-sided blinds are also much more affordable than fiberglass and can be elevated or used on the ground. Seth Sheldon's past 2 days clearly demonstrate that as the rut dies down, the does increasingly head back to food and the bucks tend to follow. That same evening, 100 miles to the north, Jared Mills overlooks a large feeding area, hoping to take advantage of this pattern.
Kind of the same story as this morning. A ton of deer. A lot more this evening, but still no good bucks. I'm not sure where they're all at. I really like this spot. You can see a long ways. Like I said, just a ton of deer. I don't know how many we saw. 30 plus, I'm sure. At one point we had 17 or 18 does and fawns just in this little bean field right here. So Josh and I were talking. It feels like it was late season hunting or something. I mean, I don't know where all the bucks are at. It's only November 22nd, but anyway, it was overall a good day just to see a lot of deer. I just got to find where those shooter bucks are at.
The beating heart of the rut has definitely quickened during the past 2 days. There is a freshness to the cold air that was not there a week before. The bucks are finally visible again, mostly around food looking for does. Those of us still carrying tags breathe a collective sigh of relief. This next week is going to be fun. We are starting to get this dialed in. There will be more opportunities ahead, but most importantly, the calendar page still has several unchecked boxes. For now at least, we are still chasing November.